In the far future, long after the last stars have burned their final fuel, the universe enters a colder and quieter chapter. The galaxies that once shimmered across the cosmic web have drifted apart until their light can no longer bridge the expanding darkness. Space itself has thinned into a vast, frigid void where nothing stirs except the slow rotation of ancient black holes. This is the dimming cosmos, an era where the luminous age is over and only shadows remain. Matter that once sang in the hearts of stars is now swallowed by silent horizons, drawn into the last surviving structures of gravity. Everything familiar has faded. The stars that shaped the elements, the galaxies that once illuminated the night sky, even the colors of the universe itself. And in this quiet, the final custodians of cosmic memory remain. When the stars fall silent, I remain, a horizon of memory, holding the light that once was. I drift at the end of time, carrying what the universe can no longer keep, watching the last echoes of creation dissolve into darkness as the age of black holes begins. As the last stars fade into silence and the luminous age of the universe ends, black holes rise to absolute dominance. During the epoch spanning from 10 superscript 3 to 10 years after the Big Bang, they become the central architecture of the cosmos, the final sculptors of gravity. With no starlight left to break the darkness, only their immense gravitational wells shape the landscape of existence. They consume everything that drifts too close. The chilled remnants of dead stars, rogue planets frozen into crystalline spheres, collapsing clouds of ancient gas, and even streams of dark matter sliding silently into their horizons. In this era, the cosmos still echoes with one final form of cosmic expression, the merging of black holes. When two of these titanic objects spiral together, space-time itself trembles, releasing ripples, gravitational waves, that sweep across the dark universe like the last music of creation. Each collision is slow, majestic, and colossal, but as the eons pass, even these grand events begin to fade. Matter becomes scarce, distances grow immense, and encounters rare. Eventually, the universe grows so empty that black holes drift alone, no longer meeting, no longer merging. The era of cosmic symphonies ends, leaving behind only the deep, endless quiet of space. A silence so complete it feels like the universe itself is holding its breath. In the deep silence of the far future universe, long after galaxies have vanished and black holes reign alone in the darkness, the final slow unraveling begins. In 1974, Stephen Hawking predicted that black holes are not eternal, but instead slowly evaporate through a delicate quantum process at the edge of their horizons. There, in the thin boundary between darkness and nothingness, pairs of virtual particles constantly flicker into existence. Normally they annihilate each other instantly, but at a black hole's event horizon, gravity tears them apart. One particle is dragged inward, while its partner escapes outward, carrying away a tiny fragment of the black hole's energy. With every escaping particle, the black hole shrinks, cool at first, then growing hotter as it becomes smaller and more unstable. The largest black holes, millions or billions of solar masses, endure for unimaginable spans of time, outliving galaxies, outliving matter itself. Smaller ones vanish sooner, dissolving into faint whispers of radiation. As the eons stretch onward, the process accelerates. The black hole heats up, brightens, and releases its final reservoir of energy. When the last moment arrives, it erupts into a brief, brilliant flash, a final pulse of light in an otherwise eternal night. After billions of trillions of years, the most powerful objects in the universe die not with violence, but with a quiet, radiant exhale, leaving behind only emptiness and the fading glow of their last breath. After the last black holes evaporate, sometime around 10 superscript 1 years into the future, the universe enters a state unlike anything that has come before. A vast, cold expanse where structure no longer exists and time loses its meaning. With no stars, no galaxies, no matter and no black holes to bend its fabric, space-time becomes smooth, almost perfectly flat, stretching endlessly in every direction. The only remaining activity is the faint hiss of the quantum vacuum, tiny, random fluctuations of energy that flicker into existence and vanish in less than an instant, the last whispers of a once luminous cosmos. In this silent era, the universe is no longer a theater of evolution or change. Without observers, without processes, without any markers of before or after, time itself becomes indistinguishable from stillness. And yet, some theories suggest that even in this emptiness, quantum fluctuations might someday grow large enough to ignite a new beginning. A spontaneous burst of energy, a new expansion, perhaps even a new Big Bang. Whether this rebirth is possible or forever theoretical, from our perspective the story ends here. In the vast, quiet dark, with the final ember of the last black hole fading into absolute night, leaving behind a universe defined not by light, but by the calm that follows its extinction. When the final black hole evaporates and the universe exhales its last fragment of usable energy, the very concept of time begins to unravel. Time exists only where change exists, where particles collide, where stars burn, where gravity shapes motion. But in this future, after the last well of energy has dried and every structure has dissolved into a uniform sea of near-zero temperature, there are no more events to mark before or after. The cosmos becomes an almost perfect symmetry, a silent geometric vastness where nothing stirs, nothing evolves, nothing distinguishes one moment from the next. In this stillness, time no longer flows, it simply ceases to matter. The universe remains, but it does not age. It holds no stories, no processes, no future, only an eternal, unchanging calm. And in this infinite quiet, the very last voice of the cosmos seems to whisper, "When the last black hole fades, I too will end. Not in fire, not in light, but in stillness." What remains is not darkness in the ordinary sense, but a boundless, featureless absence. An equilibrium so complete that even the idea of time dissolves into it, leaving behind the quietest possible ending. The end of the universe is not a death in the human sense, but the final soft exhalation of a story stretched across unfathomable epochs. When the last black hole evaporates and the last whisper of usable energy dissolves into the cold geometry of empty spacetime, the cosmos enters a silence so complete it feels sacred. In that silence there is no destruction, only completion, like the final note of a symphony fading into stillness while its resonance lingers in memory. Perhaps this quiet is not an ending but a resting place, a pause between heartbeats on a scale larger than imagination. Some theories suggest that the fabric of physics itself may remember, subtle imprints left in the quantum vacuum, hints of a previous universe woven into the very conditions that might someday ignite a new one. And so, even as time dissolves and structure fades and the universe becomes a perfect, unmoving emptiness, a possibility remains, that from this stillness, some new spark may rise, carrying forward echoes of everything that ever was. When the last black hole fades, time ends. But perhaps, from that silence, I will breathe again. This final thought hangs in the void like a seed waiting in the dark, small, quiet, but full of potential,